So we're going to do one or two more here, and I think I'm going to play some games. This is, despite Palworld's success, Game Pass needs the likes of Call of Duty or GTA 6 to become sustainable, former senior PR lead says. No, I think they're afraid. Because there have been a lot of attacks on Palworld. So we'll read this, and then we're going to talk about Palworld again. Again, Palworld, is this outlier because it's not... I mean, it's on Game Pass, but it's not an Xbox thing, right? And how dare anybody create a game this successful and exist outside of that AAA ecosystem? So this is coming from Games Radar, which Games Radar also, if I remember correctly, said that Helldivers 2 was the best RPG of the year. I guess it's a game and you play a role, so it's got two of those things right, I guess. Yeah, it is afraid. I think the AAA gaming space is terrified of these indie titles. That's why they're choking them off. It's poor phrasing. That's why they're trying very hard to, I guess, cripple these games as much as they can, censor them, get people locked into, signing up for the Game Pass. These AA titles are making the AAA titles look bad, and we can't have that. We can't have people feeling like maybe it's not worth having an Xbox or a PlayStation. Maybe they should go to PCs. I'm just worried that Valve is going to become the next Microsoft if that happens, right? Like everybody leaves the PC and they go to Steam, and then Steam becomes like the game center for everybody except for Nintendo. And then Valve goes full Microsoft on us. And I think that probably would happen. So despite Palworld's success, Game Pass needs the likes of Call of Duty or GTA 6 to become sustainable, former senior PR lead says. Microsoft needs to wrestle either Call of Duty or GTA 6 into its subscription service if it hopes to make its gaming division sustainable. Well, shutting down a bunch of studios that were producing original titles probably isn't a good move. Coming off the closures of 4 Microsoft-owned studios, this is Hildebrand. Who's Hildebrand? Hildebrand blogged about where the mega corporation can go from here in the wake of its exorbitant Activision Blizzard buyout and muted Xbox Game Pass growth. Why play Palworld on Xbox when you can play it, on Steam or whatever, right? Hildebrand speculates that almost every game that launches into Game Pass badly misses its sales goals, despite seeing a temporary boost from being the hot new thing. So games like Hi-Fi Rush, which is incredible, mind you. Yeah, it actually was a good game. Hi-Fi Rush was very good. Did it make money, though? That's the thing. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good or bad a game is. Did it make money? That's all they care about. So games like Hi-Fi Rush, which is incredible, get a very small bump in revenue from being the hot Game Pass game for a month, and that falls off a cliff when everyone moves on to the next thing. It's kind of like Netflix. Like a lot of these Netflix shows, they get a lot of viewership, and they brag about the numbers for like the first, couple weeks or whatever month it's out. And then just like nobody talks about the show. They don't talk about it. Poor Redfall had it even worse since it launched so rough it never had a chance. He continued by saying the system was fine back when the service was still on the uptick and the gaming division was basically a rounding error in Microsoft's books. Wow. Since Xbox began its shopping spree for developers, publishers, and then the publisher Activision Blizzard, the Eye of Sauron has turned, or in less nerdy terms, Microsoft higher-ups who don't know what a Viva Pinata is are suddenly paying attention. Xbox is expected to start making that $70 billion back, or at least cut expenses to the bone. Yeah, and same thing is happening with Embracer Group, right? I mean, they overspent. Disney overspent. All these companies overspent. Now they got to pay the bill. And the stuff that they bought's not performing. Even though games such as Starfield and Palworld contributed to record-breaking engagement for the Xbox ecosystem, they argue that these releases haven't spurred near enough growth, with smaller games like Hi-Fi Rush and Starfield, heavy hitter Starfield, I don't know about that, but Starfield not moving the needle. Starfield did not move the needle, guys. Starfield did not move the needle. Hildebrand thinks Xbox needs to put all the world's biggest games on the service. But that becomes Netflix at that point, right? Then why do you even need an Xbox console unless you lock that to the console, or lock these titles to the console? I don't know. It's just, the whole thing is stupid. AAA gaming is confusing. It's expensive. It is so much easier just to buy a damn PC. And I'm going to die on that hill, man. Just buy a PC. You can play everything, like everything ever made. And you can upgrade it. And at least for now, we don't have to deal with this bullshit. Or can go to GOG or something, right? Xbox President Sarah Bond said yesterday that Activision games will hit the service on release day, supporting the idea that Microsoft is in fact willing to take a sales hit to potentially boost Game Pass. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, guys. So this is what's interesting, though. Palworld is a huge threat. Yeah, Starfield didn't look so hot to me. I have zero interest in playing it. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at all the updates to No Man's Sky, and I'm like, No Man's Sky is way better. It's way better. If Palworld still upsets you this much, this is just a couple days ago. Palworld's community manager has had enough of the Xbox exclusive being used as a weapon. After the initial wave of accusations against Palworld simmered down, has mostly been smooth sailing for the studio, there are people that are still mad that this game exists. I mean, there are these Pokemon stands. They're furious this game exists. Fans love the game. The community praised it for doing what Nintendo and Game Freak shied away from doing, and it's been getting a consistent barrel of updates. And it still has a lot of people playing it. However, the recent issues surrounding Xbox and PlayStation have sparked another debate on the never-ending console wars. The name of Pocket Pair's game keeps getting brought up, and the community manager won't have it. Is that Bucky? We won't have it. Won't have it. Twitter has been on massive fire since the news of Xbox closing down multiple studios. Condolences to the studios, the staff members, whatever. Anger toward Microsoft, you name it, it's all being talked about. One of the biggest results, however, is the resurgence of the endless console wars. There is no war. The PC won, and they basically nuked themselves. Sony and I think Sony and Microsoft pretty much, like, anybody watching from the sidelines would be like, hey, yeah, it's time to just buy a PC and screw all this. Just saying. With both Xbox and PlayStation making decisions deemed questionable by their respective audiences in recent times, fans are throwing everything they can at one another to gain the upper hand. This is somebody says, yeah, we're the end all be all. Yet it's Sony with banger after banger and banger. Ain't nobody clawing to play anything from that side. Let's keep it real. What bangers? Helldivers? Even during the boycott, they were 3 out of 4 on PC. Lethal Company, PC only. Palworld, PC, and I think Xbox, yes. Elden Ring was pretty much everywhere, but mostly PC, yes. The only console with exclusives that actually performed decently is Nintendo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Among these debates, Palworld, a PC and Xbox exclusive, constantly gets brought up. Yeah, its community manager is tired. Yeah, this is Bucky. Poor Bucky. Yeah, I don't get the console fanboy thing either. Like when I was a kid, I had multiple consoles. I had a Sega and a Nintendo. Like I was allowed to have both. I get if you don't have the resources to buy a gaming rig, but you don't have to buy a $4,000 computer. To play most AAA titles. Except for Cyberpunk, for some reason. Like, Cyberpunk almost killed our one gaming PC here when it launched. I was like, what the hell kind of game is this? Anyway, Bucky says, I hate seeing Palworld brought up during the discourse today. It's either being weaponized by people who think it somehow justifies their stale console war takes, or it's just used by those who blindly bought into the lies and accusations thrown at us in January. Yeah, it was using AI that was ripping off Pokemon. It's May. If Palworld still upsets you this much, and you base all your hatred on Palworld off a couple of unfounded tweets that got views several months ago, then maybe the real issue is you and not us. We just want to make fun games that people enjoy. Yes. Stop trying to sully our name even more just so you can further your shitty hate campaigns. Twitter updates won't make you happy. We're also self-published and self-funded. Yeah, people want to use them because they're on Game Pass. They're trying to say that they are Microsoft, and they're not.